Hello everyone, it's me Airplane MC here, back with another one of these videos. And today I'll be teaching you how to land the Airbus A380. So I'm assuming you have already watched the first video explaining it, but if you haven't, I suggest just watching it by going into my YouTube channel. Okay, so basically the first thing you need to do is set your BTV here. So we are currently on a flight from I forgot what airport in France it is. It's more like from the southwest to Toulouse, France. So what we're going to do is set our BTV here by first going into zoom mode, changing this to flight plan. Go here, airport selection. Let's go to arrival airport, Toulouse. Here, Blagnac. Now we press display airport. In the meantime, we monitor this side of the screen to check whether or not we reach our top off descent area. Okay, anyways, here, since it's finally lined up, we first select our runway by zooming in even further. Okay, it seems to be gone. Okay, here we click on runway 32 left. Zoom in a little bit further. We look and see which are the available taxiways to exit off. So I would recommend taking the taxiways past the dry zone, because you never know if it's still wet, you know. So as soon as we click on the taxiway we want, go to our BTV selection, select BTV, and check over here on your PFD if the BTV has been set. It will say BTV on the PFD, meaning that it's been armed. Okay, so now that it's armed, we turn this back to arc mode, and now we check here. Okay, we're approaching our descent, our top of descent. So we're first gonna descend right here, and you'll know when you start descent, you first have to set your vertical speed. So the maximum vertical speed an A380 can do is 2,500. So for this example, we're gonna do 1,000 feet per minute. So as soon as you set it, you pull it back. Okay, this is taking a long time. Okay, there you go. Once you finish pulling it, there will be a on the PFD here, it will say vertical speed 1,000 feet. And so what we're gonna do is increase our descent here to 2,000 feet per minute. This is the standard descent route. Okay, just turn off master caution here. Perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna check on how far we are from the airport. Seems like we're not too far at all. And if you're wondering what those are, that's the border between France and Spain. It's surrounded by a lot of mountains. Yes, it is true. Okay, so as we continue our descent, we're gonna check where our top off descent ends. It's pretty long the turn we're doing. So now I'm gonna increase my descent rate to the max here, since it doesn't seem to be we're losing any altitude. Make sure you set your altitude to whatever your ILS approach is. For example, in Toulouse, our ILS approach is 3,000 feet. So I set the autopilot to descend to 3,000 feet. And once it does that, it will automatically descend for you. And oh, never mind, it's gone. We'll just wait for that to pop up. And while that is happening, if you want, we can go to our performance page, and we click, and not now, but when the time comes, we activate the approach button here after we finish our top off descent right here. Once we see the D button over here, before we hit that, we press activate approach. Okay, our airport is not that far. There, that's our airport, Toulouse Blagnac. This is where all Airbus airplanes have been made, and it's actually the home of every single Airbus airplane ever made. And if you're wondering what airline we aren't actually an airline. We're just the standard Airbus A380 house livery. so we're not doing an any airline thing. But if you want, you can choose any airline if for your flight. And if you look over here while during our descent, let me just explain something to you. There's been a lot of airlines which wanted the A380 but never got one. For example, Hong Kong Airlines, Kingfisher, Sky Air, Australia, Ostrich, I think. I am unsure what this name is over here. If any of you know what that is, just tell me in the comments. Oh, and Virgin Atlantic. Those are some names which sadly never got the A380. Although, out of all of the A380s here, I think I think amongst all the airlines which have the A380, I think my favorites ones have got to be the Middle Eastern carriers. You know, like Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar. And then second favorite non-Middle Eastern carriers is gonna be like Malaysian Airlines, Qantas, and Lufthansa. Although sadly Malaysian Airlines doesn't have any A380s anymore. They've all been put in somewhere in France, near Spain, and not in Toulouse, France. Okay, let's just check on how our descent rate is going. Seems all good here. We are slowly starting our turn. Okay, let's decrease the range to 20 nautical miles. Okay. Okay, check. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I just had to cough a little bit. Okay, we are approaching 8,000 feet. Okay, let's just hope we can land this thing without damaging anybody. Okay, I think now is a good time to activate approach mode since we're going at 300 knots. Okay, now once you have activated the approach mode, the plane will just, handle everything by itself. Also, by the way, during approach phase, make sure you turn on these 4 lights before landing. They're gonna help you a lot. Oh, and just in case, we also need this. It's gonna be a go-around flight plan, which is just, if you're wondering what a go-around is executing a missed approach, or while during landing there was some obstacle in the runway, so we had to proceed to do a go-around. That's what a go-around is. And basically it's just you apply full power, make sure the put the aircraft at a constant climb, and then put the gear up, and then make sure your flaps have been set to takeoff flaps, and then just continue on, and then redo your approach. Okay, we are nearing we're nearing 3,000 feet here, and just over here is the city of Toulouse. Okay, just give me a second. I need to mark most of these things as done. Okay, all right, now we're gonna turn on the seatbelt sign. I forgot to do that. That's a little bit embarrassing. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to activate, we're going to deploy flaps. Okay, so now we're going to put flaps 1. That will slow us down a little bit more. Okay, so now the plane just auto-correcting itself since it doesn't want to overspeed. So now it's slowing down here for the approach mode. It's going to keep slowing down till eventually it will get to a point where it's fully slowed down. Okay, and I think we are rushing into things too quickly. So now we're going to activate the approach mode button here. It turns on the ILS, which is it's like a landing. It's a guide. It's basically a helpful guide for pilots, during landing. And once it's enabled, you can basically do what you want with it. Okay, I think we are nearing the runway here, so Now we can engage the second autopilot here. So now we got two autopilots flying the airplane here. Let's just check if everything's going good. Okay, we're starting to line up with the runway. Okay, never mind. I think we
2,500.
Okay, 2,500. That's a good sign. Okay, flaps to. Oh God, I think we might have overspeeded the plane here. Okay. Okay, we can disregard that for now. Okay. I think we're going too fast, so what I'm gonna do is drop the gear. Alright, gear down. Now let's just visually check if the landing gear is coming down. Oh man, that looks beautiful to look at. Perfect. Now the gear's down. Now we are slow enough speed to deploy the next set of flaps. Okay, which is flaps 3. Okay, flaps 3 deployed. And the runway should be nearby. I just can't see it because I have a blind spot over here. Okay, flaps 3 has been set. Okay, we can mark the seatbelt sign as ticked. Gears down. Okay, let's go to our spoilers. Okay, so now what you're going to do before landing, you arm the spoilers here, and now you set the flaps to full. Okay, and yeah, we can mark that as done on our checklist here. Just get ready for the next phase. Okay, that's our runway. Okay, I think we are capturing the localizer here. Okay, so okay, now our ILS is capturing the we have captured the ILS now. So now it's gonna guide us down using these two diamonds. This is the vertical diamond and the horizontal diamond. This is gonna tell us if a little bit left or right towards the runway. The vertical diamond is going to tell us our descent rate, if we're too high, too low, and so on. And this is going to make us do our perfect approach. And basically, for now, you just watch. You have to monitor the airplane for a bit. And sadly, though, the Airbus A380 doesn't have a fully auto land system. And the big disadvantage is you cannot just let the plane just land by itself. That's the only disadvantage of not having the auto land system. But since you don't have an auto land system, you have to fly manually. So at some point we are gonna have to disconnect the autopilot and fly manually. Okay, let's just once again do our landing checklist. Okay, all green, flaps full. Okay, perfect. We are perfectly set for landing. Okay, let's just make sure we do let's just make sure no one's coming in for landing. Seems no one else is coming for landing. Yeah, there's no one else coming in for landing, so we can just make a direct approach into Toulouse here. Okay, nearing okay, past 2,000 feet. Continuing our descent on towards the runway. The plane's trying to align itself with the ILS. I am ready to take over just in case we are too high, or if I sense it's the correct time to take over. I think we can take over around there here. This stadium section. I don't know what this is. But I think that's a good place to disconnect the autopilot and fly manually. Although when you do disconnect the autopilot, just make sure you still have auto throttle on, as you don't want to be doing two things at once. Okay, so now while we're descending, let me just explain some things to you. The plane's gonna tell you how close you are to the ground by giving automated warnings like 1000, 500, 400, 300, 200 and so on. And then during the landing process for every Airbus airplane, it will say 50, 40, 30, 20, and then it will say the word retard. Although if you're wondering, no, it doesn't call you an idiot. It's just telling you to pull the throttles to idle, and then the plane will land by itself. And then the plane will land by itself. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the autopilot here. Autopilot disconnect. Okay. Okay, now we are doing a Cat 1 approach.
Descend and maintain 8,000 feet. Expect ILS runway tree. 2 left approach.
Okay, I think we should start turning a little bit. Okay. Now over here on the runway there'll be these lights over here saying if you're basically there are 4 lights. If it's 2 whites, then if it's 2 whites and 2 reds, you're good. If it's 3 reds and 2 whites, you're a little bit low. If it's all red, then you're low. And if it's 3 whites and 1 red, you're a little bit high. And if it's all white, you're too high. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Alright, let's land this thing. Okay. Approaching the runway now. Runway 32 left in sight. Sort of center line. Let's do this.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Okay, idle.
5.
And touchdown. Perfect. Push the nose down. Okay. Reverse green. BTV. Perfect. Now you just have to let the airplane just brake for you. Okay, let's just try and put it back on center line here. Okay, perfect. And I think this is where we start our turn to exit the runway. And perfect landing. That was a textbook landing. Perfect. Now we can just taxi to the gate here. Okay, perfect. Alright, now if you have actually done this process before, and if you've done this right now, if you managed to land this plane just because of this video, congratulations, you've managed to land an Airbus A380 with no problem. Although this only works if you already had put the flight plan in the A380 flight management computer. Okay, now we're just gonna taxi to our assigned gate, which is over there, along with the other planes. It's over there. Hang on a minute. Oh, would you look at that? It's an Air India. It's an Air India A320. Surprised seeing one here today, especially with that old livery. Must have grounded some. Okay, there's a lot of. Okay, now let's just turn off the ILS since we don't need it. Turn off the flight directors. All these buttons. I forgot. I do not know what they do, but they were really important during landing. Okay, let's do it the same thing for the co-pilot side here. Okay, let's just make sure everything's in working order. Throttles, everything's perfect. Engines working. Landing gears all down. Yeah, basically most of our things have been working. Okay, so we can turn off the flight plan now if we. Okay, okay, let's just check the checklist here for landing. Oh, we can already mark the checklist is complete. See, so you have to put parking brake, engines off, wing lights off. Perfect. Okay. All right, I think we can. No, I don't know if we can park there. There's no parking signs. Oh god, there's a fuel truck over here. Wonder what he's doing out here. Just hope he can clear our wing before anything bad happens. Okay, we can set our QNH back. No, actually no, keep the QNH at 1.4. Okay, we are approaching our gate, which is surprisingly near the Air India a320 here. I don't know why is there an old livery Air India a320 just laying here in Toulouse. But probably the airline has forgotten to take delivery of it. Okay, let's just slow down here now. Okay. Just gotta be very gentle on our inputs to the throttle. And I think we can turn here. Yeah, right there. That's our zone. Okay, let's just slow down here with the parking brake. Start turning into our assigned slot. Okay, keep turning. There's no one there. Perfect. So we just keep on turning and stop turning here. We can just smoothly taxi on here. Okay, and stop. Perfect. Alright, now what you're gonna do is, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, now if now to complete your flight, you just turn off your engines. Oh yeah, and then you raise the flaps, disarm the gear. Okay, we're gonna turn off 2 of the outward engines. Let's just check on our plane itself real quick. Okay, that's the building. And yeah, I think we've done a successful job. Okay, reverse thrust is somehow to good. Perfect. Yeah, everything is in order. The wing still is a bit flexy. We landed a little bit overweight, but yeah, it's okay. Alright, now we can turn off all 4 engines. And yeah, that is basically it. That is it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video here, because I have to end it now. And I'll probably be doing another one of these A380 videos. So I'll see you soon. Bye.